Never learn. This is all part of that package deal. Next up, well, one of the package deals. I'm just ridiculous for getting all this junk, but here I am doing it. Anyway, next up is this vintage Craftsman. I don't know what year it is. I have to look it up. Chainsaw with power sharp. Interesting. I saw this blade on here and I got to thinking, well, how is that? Is that right? Well, Oregon just came out with a new system that's, of course, like so many things, not new. Sorry about that. Here's the other chain, and I wanted to give it the old looky-loo. You'll see they've got the wrong chain on here. I don't think they work that great anyways, but see how the teeth sharpened are backwards? That's because this has a grinding wheel in it, and apparently you go like that, and then when you push this backwards, it puts pressure on it, and it'll sharpen those teeth as it's running. I don't think anybody claims it worked that great, and the Oregon, the new one that I got, in my opinion, it grabs a lot. Really easy to, much easier to kick back. You just have to pay attention, but it does work. You can leave the chain on the saw and sharpen it. I don't know how much advantage that really has. I mean, if you figure out how to use a file system, then it's silly, but you know, for the average Joe Schmo that gets out their chainsaw once a year and does cutting for a day or two, it would make sense, I guess. Anyway, whatever. This is the project. I guess it's not an auto oiler, as you have an oil button, I think, which this one is not wanting to push. So it's probably got gack in it. Don't know. Oops, my finger's in front of the camera. Genius. Came with all this stuff. Check out the old cans, all right? Yeah, all the files. Homemade box to put it in. Even the owner's manual and a bunch of repair parts, which just looks like not like major parts, just air filters and whatnot. But that's the next project. I guess we'll tear into it and see if we can get it working. Yeah. Yeah, definitely there was compression. Let me get some schmee to put down there. Give it a little something, lubricate up the cylinder wall. Even though WD-40 is not a good lubricant. Let's give that a quick cleaning on the old Harbor Freight spark plug sandblasting the MacLeod McThinger. Then we'll put it on the old sparkulator tester, see what it does. Let's just see. The old Sparkulator 9000. You can see it. I think you can see that. Get out of the way. Definitely spark plug functions. Couldn't tell if the camera could pick it up, but it's clear as day. We know the spark plug works. I couldn't control myself. I figured I'd do this often enough. I got taps coming on the way, and I think I'm going to, for an improvement to the Sparkulator 9000 tester, I think what I'm going to do is get rid of that piece of metal, have a separate something or other with a wire long enough to get there. Maybe. I'm not sure. So you can more easily see it, because this bounces around a little. There's still a little vibration. Because there's this weight on the end of the flywheel that doinks around, and it was no better when it had the piston still on it. Alright, check out this little kit, by the way, from Amazon. Don't ask me for the link, just go look for it. But anyways, it has every carburetor adjustment tool, spline shaft for like Craftsman, every little carburetor adjustment tool you might want, and a coil spark gap test with the Dankus all built in it. I think it was like 15 bucks, something like that. So to test out ye old coil, not enough room in the end. Put that in there, turn that way maybe. Give us ye old spark plug. This is going to be tricky. Leaving the spark plug out so there's no compression to fight against. Let's just see if I can manage to do this. Pull this thing. What do we got? So right now we're touching, so maybe we'll see the spark over here. Oh god, yeah, look at that. No need to test anything else. But if you wanted to, you back this thing open and you see how big of a gap it will jump. Can you see it? Yeah, you should have been able to see that. Anyway, no problem with coil. Beautiful. That's one thing we don't have to fool with. Alright. This little fella out of here. We know the spark plug works. We know the coil works. Goes over there. Alright. I don't think you need to see every single step of me taking this apart, so I'm going to put it in time lapse. Plus then I can turn the radio on. Thank you, YouTube. You can never have the radio on the background because then they ding you for copyright infringement. Just for Pandora running in the background. Just irritating. So anyway, time lapse doesn't pick up audio, so boop, here we go. if you're watching, you probably said, hey, you didn't do squat to that saw. Well, that's not exactly true, but it's pretty close. Somebody had been in there, clearly cleaned the carburetor, and replaced the fuel lines. Those are all good. The fuel filter's in the tank is clean. There was oil in it. I put oil back in it. The instruction book said use 30 weight oil. That looks like what's in there as opposed to modern bar oil. The chain that was on there was a new replacement where you would never use the sharpener with the scalloped kind of teeth. And where's the fun in that? So just to test it, I put the old chain on it that's supposed to do that auto sharpening, and the stone looked all right. It was adjusted way too hot, so now I adjusted it to where it just barely touches. And you know, we'll get it running and then see how that works. Probably not too hot, but we're gonna try it anyway. But there was one socket head cap screw missing in there, so I replaced that where the hole was, and I think that's about it. I hardly didn't have to do anything. Everything else looked good, so I think it's ready to try to start. Let's see what happens. Well, let's see if it fires in anger. There's those. Let's see what happens. You don't need any primer bulbs. It's on choke. Ignition's on. Maybe I gotta give it a little throttle. Nope. Well, I didn't actually clean the carb because everything looked sterile. Maybe I should have. Choke. Gas. Nope. I don't smell gas. Let me get some starting fluid, try that real quick. I'm breaking my own rules again. Always, before you fool with trying to start something, clean the carburetor. Always, because you just never know what the last guy did. Yep. Yeah. No fuel going up the fuel line. So clearly needs to be cleaned at best. At worst, the diaphragm is no good. It senses the engine pulse. One more though, just to see if it'll somehow clear itself out. It did not. Well, clearly it'll run. Got to clean the carb. It's not sucking fuel. Okay, first of all, let's re-glovify myself. I'm rubbing grease off my hands. What I was going to say was, why don't we pull the fuel line off, give it some suction, and see if anything happens. How am I going to do that? That's a good question. We're going to use the old Venturi method. See if this works. Should. So the idea is if we pull this off of here, yeah, and if we give it some air going across the top of the hose, it should suck the fuel up there. Yep, see it? Yep. So it ain't blocked from the fuel filter up, which must mean it's the carb. Get it off. Take a looky. Of course I RTV'd the gasket down once. Of course I did. It could be possible that that's no bueno. Alright, I marked what hole the throttle dingus is in, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm hoping to find something that's, you know, Captain Obvious here. Oh, pardon me. Oh God, I hate slotted screws. Just worthless. Worthless. This is the diaphragm that pulses from the engine. Looks like, no, I don't know. I mean, I did put RTV silicone on there. Looks like it all squeezed completely out, which seems odd, doesn't it? Is there any possibility that that totally didn't seal? Yeah, it's probably possible. You can see where it tried to squeeze the RTV down to the cylinder or to get sucked into the motor, which is awesome. That's pretty much where you want your silicone to end up. And it's trying to. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that again. No, sir. No. Nope. 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 All right. No harm, no foul. I don't know. I made that up. Well, if you're going to do something, you got to do it all the way. Come on. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. We're going to leave that alone. normally I skip this part. This one may be interesting because we know for a fact the whole reason is the carb at this point. So maybe there'll be something interesting in here. Gaskets are stuck down hard. I don't have a replacement kit, so I really don't feel like damaging the gaskets. Have to be careful, delicate. Delicate. Okay. Do. Delicate. Don't break it. Oh yeah, little flappers look like they were glued down. That probably wouldn't work too good. I can't get in there. Well, can't get in there the other side. Try a little love pressure. Come on. Don't break. Don't you tear. Don't tear. Oh, yes. I think I got it. Success. All right. See, the screen looks pretty clean, so I bet you it's the diaphragm for the fuel pump, needle, whatever. Not fuel, well, yeah, I guess it is kind of fuel pump and needle valve situation. This is where I'm going to cut my fingers off on video. It should be awesome. Pretty stiff. Seems like it should work. Could be the whole problem is this gasket, which of course I don't have another one of. I need it to just work. Well, all you can do is clean it and try to find out. It's stuck down hard. Really stuck on there. I think she's coming. Delicate. Fingers cramped up. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Don't quit now. Oh. And once again, I'm stuck. Come on. Don't break. You're doing it. Don't quit on me. Don't quit on me. Yeah, tolerable. Yeah, there's very little flex to that. I have to check my stash. See if I have one of those. Hold on. Is the needle stuck down in there? Really kind of hard to tell. No, needle's not stuck. Okay. So I think it's just this diaphragm is just rock solid. It's not supposed to make that sound. We'll check the stash. Yes. And for added extra bonus, looky, it's not the exact gasket, but all the holes line up. Whoop. Hey, what's the... Oh. That's fine. You get the idea? So we'll use that in there because this one is damaged. We'll get rid of it, scrape it off. This diaphragm clearly is flexible. Nice and easy. And it fits the gap. Bada bing. We don't need to film that. I'm gonna start up when I got it all assembled. You guys are supposed to call me out when I'm doing something dumb. I guess that'd be kind of hard, wouldn't it? Unless I was doing it live. So, pretty much done. I forgot I needed one of the hard gaskets too, which I had. So we're set there. And I probably screwed myself before because when I put that gasket back on, those little side holes are important. It's got one in there in the saw. See it? And it probably has to do with the engine pulse, so I probably dingified myself in the process, but everything is cleaned out, sterilized. I got to clean up the little needle and seat and whatnot first and get everything screwed back together, but that's it. It should function. And we're going to leave the cover off this time, so when we first go to pull it, we should see fuel suck up the fuel line and get to the carb. Then we'll obviously know it's working. The high speed was 1 turnout, the low speed was 3/4 of a turn. I don't know if on this older carb that mattered. Obviously it started on the spray earlier, so actually I guess that wouldn't be any kind of indicator. They don't seem like they're far enough out to me, but that's where they were, and since the rest of the saw seemed like it was maintained pretty well, I'm going to assume that that's probably a good starting spot and go from there. So anyway, well, I guess we'll just get to assembling here. A little more cleanery-roo. Just for good measure. Yeah. You're supposed to remember low speed was the blue spring. I better put those in directly before I forget what the hell I did. Too late, I already forgot. Low speed. Lightly seated, half turn, 3/4 of a turn. High speed. Lightly seated. No, not yet. There it is. Half, 1 whole turn out. Okay. this little diaphragms are quick rubbings. Okay. Put that fella back in. What are you doing? That. Like that. Like that. My favorite, slotted screws. Best invention in the world. Nice and snug. In with the needle. Hunk. In with the spring. Hoop. Tricky part. And I think that's the carpet installer. Okay. Can't see. Is that where that goes? Seems like too big of a screw for the hole. Faster. I gotta answer the door, I think. Checking. Yes, yes, yes. All good. Gotta go see who's at the door. False alarm. I should have known. They're like the cable guys. They just might show up whenever they feel like it. It's awesome. Alright, where was I? Whoop. Is that right? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Ooh, goody! Slotted screws. My favorite. Oh yeah. Come on. Oh yes. I love them. I love everything about slotted screws. How wonderfully they stay on the end of a screwdriver. They never cam out on you. No, they're the best. And then how nice and easy it is if they do get damaged to try to get them out. Just all around awesome. Love them. Okay. Oh, I forgot to clean this. If I was smart, which I'm not, I might consider replacing that too. There's not much flex in there. Do I have one of those? Could it be? No. That is not the same. Maybe. Maybe, oh maybe. That looks like like it might be a winner. Oh. Oh. Ding, 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 ding. But I have to have the cardboardy gaskety stuff too for that one. Oh my god, I think I do. I'll be dipped. That stuff's been hanging around in my stash. Let me check though. Yeah, those are pretty crispy. Yeah, okay, I need to replace it. I don't think those flaps would function, they're too stiff. Old. I don't believe it. You know how many years that junk's been in my carburetor stash? I mean, I didn't do this till, I think, last winter. Started fooling around with a hobby, or maybe it was 2 winters ago. I was in the middle of a move, and I was bored to death. I couldn't do anything, half my stuff was packed, and so I was festering, looking for something to do, and yeah. This is what I came up with to do. And long before that, I had this carb kit. I must have tried to fix something of mine in the past, but it wasn't like I was doing it like I am now, where there's a lot of it. Anyways, good. I'm glad I finally used stuff from my stash. There's nothing wrong with a little carb cleaner in the house. Come on, come on. Okay. Did I just do that? No, that's the wrong, that was the wrong one, right? No, I don't remember. I did put both pieces in, didn't I? Be nice if that thing wasn't springing into my operation. Yeah, they're both in there. Okay. Oh my God. Deceased. Okay, and I scraped that gasket off down there. So this should be kosher static to jam on there. Yep. Yeah. Shit. I don't remember which side that went on. I think it was that side. Are you serious? Camera, you dirty dog. You probably tipped where you can't see anything. This gasket's not really helping. Oh, let's try to put the fuel line onto the end of a screw. I think we'll do that later. Let's get that in first. Delicate, delicate. course, ow. Oh, come on now. I can't see the operation. Oh, there it went. All right, somebody triple check gasket alignment. Yep, it's in there where it's supposed to be. Now, what are the chances that I can't get the linkage in since I already kind of screwed it down? That'd be great. That's correct. Oh my God. Too many things. I should have took the bar off again. It's in my way. Oh. Okay. Did I do it? Did I? And not screw up the gasket? Okay, gasket placement's good. Wait a minute. Yes. Triple check. Yep. Get this all. Nice and tight. Tight. Nice and tight. Okay, that's it. Fuel line. Pardon me. All right. I'm not gonna worry about that gasket. Just gonna leave it sitting there because we'll put it on later. But we can test it now. God, I hope. Oh no, I know how to test this. It won't start. We'll leave the switch off. Leave the choke on. So we're hoping to see fuel come up that tube. No fuel. No fuel. Well, that's just peculiar. Don't know what to say about that. No bueno. Wonder if I can. Do I need to prime it? Manually somehow? Definitely no fuel suckings. Well, that's a letdown. Well, let's try some. No. wishful thinking. Let's just not break this. This, I don't believe is going to work. Can I manually pressurize it? I assume this is a vent, right? A one-way vent? Yeah, it blows through that way. Oh, yeah, since I can see daylight, I guess it blows through that way too. Let's give it super lightweight, nothing ridiculous pressure. Up there now. Maybe that'll make all the difference. It's up there. I want to pull it, but I know that would be stupid. We go outside. Oh, yeah, I should have mentioned too. A long time ago, when I was taking it apart and putting it back together, I started to take the case apart more to worry about this oiler, but then I decided, I read the instruction manual. It has an auto oiler, but it also has a button if you want additional pump of oil every once in a while. And I don't feel like taking the case apart all the way to that point of figuring out what this thing does until we see if the saw works. So let's find out. All right, fuel's in that line. Got it choked, it's on. Nothing. What if I give it the... I'm not going to give it anything yet. Whoops. Yeah, I will. Let's see. Right away, seems to me they ain't getting enough fuel. Go another half turn out on the high. A little more loving, maybe. Still don't see that fuel pulsing really. Well, there might be a check valve stuck or something. Just don't know. Yeah, just not getting fuel. Huh. I have to think about this a while. So what had happened was, don't ever say that, you sound like a dumbass. Anyways, I took a syringe. I didn't want to use any more starting fluid because it dries up the piston. Put a mixed, fuel oil mix in a syringe, opened up the carb and just dripped it in there and then fired it off.
And sure enough, it just needs tuned, but it started right up, and something in the carb popped loose. Probably a little tiny check valve in there, just was dry, and it needed to get fuel in it. So by giving this little light pressure till I could see the fuel went up in there, then I put a little pressure in it and held my thumb over the vent, and with the ignition switch off, gave it a bunch of pulls, hoping that the slight pressure would free up a check valve. I don't know if it was that or just putting the 2-cycle mix down the hole, but it works. It just needs tuned now. Couldn't get there. Okay. Low end needs another half turnout. I'm going to get the cover back on it over here, final tuning. Then I think we'll start it and come out and play with the sharpener, see if that does anything. Holy shit, don't tell the old lady. Oh my God, what have I done? I wanted to mention before I forgot, if I'm repetitive, I already did it, then too bad. I wanted to show this Craftsman 2.0 chainsaw again. Oregon Tools came out with this new chainsaw bar, auto sharpening thing, clips on the end of your bar. Well, you've heard people say nothing is new in this world. It's true. This old saw from, I don't know if it's the 70s. Anyway, it had what I researched is called a Barracuda blade. And it's even more interesting. This is built on the saw. I already talked about what it looked like, how it worked. I don't remember if I actually showed, I'm almost sure I did not, video me running it and sharpening it, but it worked perfect. It really did. I mean, these blades are kicky and throwy, but they do cut like a Banshee. And I made it so it just lightly touches, and you just touch it for a second or two, some sparks shoot out, but man, it put an edge on them. They are sharp as hell. And you can still buy blades for that from Oregon. So I wanted to mention that, yeah, that's pretty cool that they're selling new stuff that's actually harder to use. You got to clip it on, etc. Now, standard chain designs are better. They're safer. They're just better. But it's interesting to me that this old one did work, and they are selling that style type of chain again with auto sharpening rig on it. Anywho, there it is. Sharp as but Jesus. Thanks for watching.